Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to do something a little bit different because I want to talk about Watch and Wonders release on the 30th of March in year 2022, where Rolex released a couple of new watches and also discontinued some of our favorite watches. And how is this going to impact the watch market? Let's take a look. So here am I on Rolex's website. Let's take a look at all the new watches, and this is how you navigate them. You can see I already had some of my favorite releases this year, so it can be seen later on in this quick summary that you can send to your AD to put on your list. Alright, first one, let's take a look at the new Air King. I really like what they've done here. They've added the crown guard and also make the dial more symmetrical along with looms on the hands. Wow, this watch, no surprises that they did something to this watch by discontinuing the old one. I know people will actually halt about 10 pieces of these watches thinking that they will make a quick flip, but I think what Rolex showed here is that they are in charge and no one knows for sure what they are going to do. Yes, you may guess that they're going to discontinue it, but do you know that they're going to come back with a newer and much better version immediately? There's, back in the 2018, 2020, when they discontinued the original Batman GMT, they waited for about 2-3 years before they bring back the new ones. So there's no chance at all for flippers to make a profit here, and I think I commend Rolex for that. The next one is a Dated 40 in platinum. All along now, platinum watches has this ice blue dial that you cannot get in any other metal configuration. But with the fluted bezel, it used to be just for the gold version, but now they showed that they can make it in platinum as well, and they discontinued the smooth bezel. Personally, I don't like this move, but again, Rolex is doing what they think is the best, and I'm not going to be in the position to buy this watch anyway, so it doesn't really affect me. Now moving to a watch that I actually really like, and I'm really thinking about putting a trigger for one. It's a Yacht-Master 42 in yellow gold and rubber strap. There's also a newer one in white gold where they changed the dial to this Falcon Eye. Now some people ask, why does the Falcon Eye dial cost $4,000 extra? Like, surely a dial can't cost that much more to make. But I will actually dispute the fact that the dial is the face of the watch, that it is the most important part of it, and having a unique dial like this one actually makes the watch stand out a lot more. In fact, I'm very sure in the secondary market, this watch will cost a lot more than this black dial. In fact, I expect the difference to be more than twice the difference, simply by the fact that this dial is going to be a lot harder to make, and Rolex is not going to have that many of them, and because it's also new, there are lesser of these watches in circulation. The good news is, for the retail price, the yellow gold is always the cheapest one, just like the Sky Dweller, just like the Daytona. But we will see in the secondary market, it's usually the white gold watches that is the cheapest in the resale value, because people think that it's a steel watch. Alright, Dated 40 in yellow gold and green. Now everybody was hyping up about the olive green Dated in rose gold, and again I commend Rolex for doing this because yellow gold is nothing new, but having this green dial, like, it just makes so much sense. Like, where has this watch been all this while? 51,000 retail price, expect to pay more than 100,000 again. It's going to bring down the market for the olive green, the rose gold version, and I think it's a good move overall by Rolex again. There's a lot of rumors with the blue colored dial on the Arrows Gold. I don't know why people still think that's gonna happen, because it was actually very obvious. It was actually Photoshop. Like this rumor has been debunked, but then people still talk about it, like, leading up to the event. Just like the black GMT in Jubilee bracelet, people showed that it was actually a prediction done by monochrome watches a few years ago, and they are just circulating it now. Like, seriously guys. Dated 36 in platinum, again, not my cup of tea, but this is actually my favorite release. The green on the Datejust 41, in particularly if I can get it in Jubilee bracelets, this is going to be the bomb. In fact, I'm gonna go for the smooth bezel one, simply because you can't even get this in the platinum configuration anymore. Just to show the big dogs that yes, you want a smooth bezel, you gotta step down to this Datejust now, not a Dated. 11,000 retail price, expect to pay about 20,000 in the pre-owned market for the first few pieces. Eventually, I think the prices is going to settle down around mid to the high 10s. And this is actually my other personal favorite, the Datejust blue dial with the diamond markers. I actually seen one in person before, and I respect it. Like, it changed my opinion on 36mm dials, because I always think that, as men we should go for the largest possible dial, but 36 is actually fine, more than fine. I'll be more than happy to own one. Alright, I'm gonna skip all these two-tone date just because we know for sure that no one's actually gonna get them. Rolex Deepsea, the watch is so huge that it doesn't fit me at all. Also, the changes are so minimal, like it is the same movement, but they have improved very small things, like the date is a little bit bigger, like the case's shape is a little bit different, and then they call it a day. I think there's nothing wrong with that. Some people say that Rolex are making too small changes, but I would argue that if Rolex were to make big changes, and given their history of since early part of the 20th century, like they'll be making watches that looks like Hublot or Richard Mille by now if they were to go down that route. So give credit to Rolex for making small changes that matters. Now, no one can miss this. This is the most talked about watch. I think this signals a few things. Number one, we are not going to get back the black GMT anytime soon. They already pulled out the green hands, therefore the only single colored bezel GMT is gone. So if you want one, you may want to consider getting one. I don't see a point of it. I do have one, but I'm not gonna pay these prices now to have one of these discontinued pieces. What I learned over the years is that having something discontinued doesn't mean that it's going to be sought after. Also, having something rare again doesn't mean that it's going to be sought after. This watch is controversial, but I think it's an amazing feat of engineering to have the watches reverse in position. Panerai done it before, but the way Rolex did it, again, I think it's better. This color, I love the combination of it. I still like my Pepsi a lot. I still like the Batgirl, the Batman a lot. But if I can get my hands on one, definitely I'll get one. At $15,000 retail, one of my friends got offered one at $60,000 on the first day. The prices quickly came down after a few days to $45,000, and I think that's a fair price for what this watch would be for now, because the Pepsi is going for about $40,000. Once these watches starts to saturate the market, I would say they should trade around the same or just slightly above Pepsi. In the long run, if you are thinking that this watch is going to make the Batman and the Pepsi less desirable, I don't think so. The fact that Rolex is now making a fourth color along with the root beer for a GMT, that just means that they are going to allocate less resources to make the Pepsi and the Batman dial bezel, and expect the supply of the other watches to be lower. So it's not a good news, I think, for most of us, the fact that they did not kill off any of the existing variation by just adding one more. Supply is going to be low when it's already really squeezed. That's just the way it is. Alright, James Cameron Deepsea, good to see you here. Datejust ladies, good to see you here. And of course, the biggest news, of course, is the fact that they discontinued the Tiffany Oyster Perpetual. This watch already seen such a markup since the Patek Philippe announcement of their auction with LVMH, and now they discontinued the one in the 41mm. The good thing is that 36 is still in production, and I think if you want to have one of these, the 36 is the best value of money because it fit both men and women really well. 41 is good for men, but it could be too large for some ladies and also men with smaller wrists. I personally own the 41mm. I think it's great because I see so much of the dial, but I'm happy to own a 36 as well. Those who bought the green at the high, unlucky for you, it did not get discontinued. It did not go as far up as the coral red or the mustard yellow. So better luck next time. What am I gonna do? I don't know. I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy the watches that I already have. I have actually sold some watches because I think the price just went too far up. It's too ridiculous. But I will try to, dip my toes in again. Alright, we're gonna talk about other brands next time, but with that, that's all for today. Thank you.